Hello. I am back with some perspectives that I've had recently about hiring new candidates. I've been interviewing a lot of people and I'm realizing I have a sort of technique and a method that I use, and I would love to share that with you. It's not what you'll expect.
What?
So, you went to college, you got a degree, and you were told, work on your portfolio, get your portfolio perfect, and that's everything. That's going to get you the job. But for me, when I'm looking at candidates, that isn't. Here's why I start with the conversation first. When I look at new candidates, I don't look at the portfolio until after we've had the conversation. And I don't even look at their resume for very much time before we speak. Because I'm finding resumes aren't always honest, and portfolios don't always show you the person's real talent. The conversation does. And here's what I'm listening for. It's not an interrogation. I want to understand how they think. I'm not going to ask them a list of features that they know about the software. I'll ask them questions that explain by someone who's actually done the work that they really understand it. And even further, how they're taking that and applying that in new and creative ways. For example, with some people, they didn't have a digital product creation team already. So I asked them how they ignited that with their leadership. Or if they are in a team that's more established, I'll ask them what projects they've worked on. What garments were really a challenge? How did they overcome these challenges? What did they use? What experience did they bring outside of the software themselves to answer these questions and to get results? I'm not looking for perfect answers. I'm looking for ownership, for passion, for curiosity. As we've talked through all of these elements of what I discuss in the interview, every conversation is different. I don't go by a script. I don't evaluate someone by a laundry list. I really like them to tell me about themselves and let them lead the conversation. I encourage them to talk about what experiences they've been interested in and how they've approached challenges. I definitely make it a point to ask them about what they are good at, where their strengths are, and tell me specific examples about how they use their skills to approach really difficult problems. Of course, I let them ask questions about me and the organization they would be potentially coming on board with. And then after all the questions are done, that is when I close the conversation and I open their portfolio. Not because I'm ready to be wowed by beautiful images, but I'm gonna scrutinize that very critically and look and see if what they told me in the conversation is actually translated into the portfolio that I'm looking at right there. Is there collision? Is there attention to detail? Is there an approach that's really interesting? I can see how you applied graphics, texture, fabric, stitching, fold details, all of the construction. And I find that's really, really important for a hiring manager in this industry. You need to have the technical skills in order to evaluate what you're seeing. Because HR will look at portfolios, beautiful ones, and say, this is a great candidate, we should hire them. But you look more closely at it and you can see exactly how someone thinks, how they approach their work. And if they're going to put something that's not perfect into a portfolio, that tells me a lot that I need to know. So, in conclusion, here's what I've learned: a portfolio can show me what people can make, a conversation shows me how they think. And someone who can think through a problem beyond just knowing what buttons to click is a stronger candidate. So, this is my philosophy to hiring. I would be so curious to hear your philosophy. How do you weigh the portfolio, the resume, the conversation, anything else that comes along? Very curious. And if you're looking for a job in the industry of digital product creation, what are you hoping that hiring managers will look at when they're looking at your portfolio or resume? Or what do you hope will come up in the conversations that you have? Drop them in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to having the conversation with you.